I wanted to be able to take this opportunity with this older gentleman. We'll start out this week, and we're going to look at this in that there are so many things that we have been addressing along the way, and I think drawing this eye in more detail is going to give us an opportunity to start looking at some of those things. For instance, we established light directions a little while back. So one of the ways of making successful character lines, I don't know, I guess you could call them wrinkles, some people would, where they're quite deep. I can now see where there's going to be a clean edge, but I can also see my light direction. And this is really important because we're looking for consistency. We don't want a huge conflict where I have a light area up here because it's rounded and catching the light, and it's catching the light, and it's catching the light, and then put on my wrinkles and have maybe the light in a dark place. This is still a contour. It's rounded, and it's going to have a facet enough that this is the area that's going to catch that light, the same as this, same as this, same as this. And so we want to really notice those subtle things. Now, also, when you're drawing something with some subtle detail, I think it's fun to do a lot of detail if it complements your drawing. If you're just doing detail for the sake of detail, and some of us when we're drawing, we just get carried away with something that we're trying to figure out, we're trying to develop into something, and so we end up by making that detail dominant. I would probably have the tendency to cut down on some of these things until I'm sure that I'm going to have the opportunity to complement the character and not make it, like you've probably heard me say, I've mentioned this many times, I don't want to make this the wrinkle picture. I don't want to make this whatever it is. I want to be able to do this person and complement them, have something that's very interesting. Whatever I end up by using, I want it to be enhancing our ability to get into who they are, wanting to know them, or maybe that's not always the case, but still make it real, make it come off the page, give it that 3D dimension, which I always enjoy. There are so many goals and so many opportunities that we have with a pencil. I realize painting is wonderful too. I've done an awful lot of painting, and yet I want to be able to again come up with something that has overall impact. Once in a while, I may go ahead and decide, depending on maybe the article I was illustrating or whatever, maybe I want to go ahead and concentrate more on the eyes. And maybe the smile is what it's all about. But I have to be careful that I'm not drawing away attention. You can do that with your values. You don't want to have something terribly dark here because our eyes will generally go to the greatest contrast. And so I kind of reserve some of that for maybe the sparkle. It helps me bring the attention back to that.